17 other invisible factors you didn't even know were in play. Here's a perfect example from my practice. A guy comes in exhausted, tells me about an argument over his partner wanting a new couch. He researched prices, measured the space, made a spreadsheet of options. She got upset because you don't care about making our home beautiful. He showed her the spreadsheet to prove he cared. She cried harder because everything is just data to you. He literally couldn't win because they weren't having the same conversation. The perceived versus actual power dynamic is fascinating. After most of these arguments, she thinks she won because he apologized. He thinks he lost because logic didn't matter. But here's the truth. Nobody won. He didn't apologize because she was right. He apologized because continuing was pointless. She didn't win the argument. She won his withdrawal got bank statements, Excel sheets, clear numbers, but the response you get is, "You always make me feel bad about spending money." Suddenly, you're not discussing math anymore. You're defending your entire character. The conversation shifted from facts to feelings. And most men don't even notice when it happens. A client yesterday described it perfectly. It's like I'm speaking English, and she's hearing Portuguese, then responding in Mandar, and we're both getting mad that the other person doesn't understand. The logic you're using isn't wrong, but it's irrelevant because the conversation isn't happening in the realm of logic. It's happening in the realm of emotion, where different rules apply. The unequal standards of behavior are staggering. If a man raises his voice during an argument, he's aggressive, potentially dangerous, needs anger management. If bringing up of that thing you did 3 years ago, "I guess I'm just a terrible person then," that forces you to comfort instead of continue your point. These aren't accidents. They're tactics, whether conscious or not. I watched a couple argue in therapy. He made a logical point about their finances. Her response? "That's exactly what my ex used to say." Boom. Now he's not discussing finances. He's defending that he's not her ex. She didn't address his point at all, but successfully derailed the entire conversation. It's brilliant if you think about it. Wrong, but brilliant. The double standards in judgment are everywhere. She can say, "All men are trash," and it's venting. You say some women are difficult, and you're a misogynist. She can generalize your entire gender based on her ex. But if you mention any pattern you've noticed, you're stereotyping. She can be hangry. Every man has been there. You're having a discussion about something simple. Where to eat dinner, what movie to watch, why the credit card bill is so high. You present facts, logic, reasonable points, and somehow, 15 minutes later, you're apologizing for things you didn't even know you did. Defending yourself against accusations from 2019 and wondering how a conversation about takeout turned into a relationship referendum. Let me explain why. By arguing with certain people, particularly in romantic relationships, feels like playing chess against someone who's playing emotional volleyball. You're not even in the same game. The fundamental problem is that men and women often approach disagreement from completely different planets. When I disagree with my male friends about something, we present evidence, counter-evidence, reach a conclusion, grab a beer, done. But in many, depends on her behavior. She controls your mood with her response time. This isn't attractive. It's pathetic. A man whose emotional state depends on a woman's behavior is a man who's given away his power. The fifth principle, complementary feeding in relationships. Relationships require balance, giving and receiving, pursuing and being pursued, investing and being invested in. When you overgive, you create imbalance. She becomes the taker. You become the giver. This dynamic kills attraction because it removes her ability to invest, to give, to pursue. Women need to invest to attach. When you do everything, give everything, provide everything, you rob her of the opportunity to invest. And without investment, there's no attachment. She can't value what cost her nothing. She can't treasure what requires no effort. You're trying to buy her love with your effort, but love. The only real attraction trigger. Not tricks, not games, not manipulation. Genuine self-development. Women are attracted to men who are going somewhere, building something, becoming something. Not for her, but for themselves. The moment your improvement is for her, it loses its power. When you develop skills, build your body, advance your career, expand your knowledge, not to impress her, but to improve yourself, you become genuinely attractive. This isn't about external achievements. It's about the internal state of a man who's growing. Growth is attractive. Stagnation is repulsive. I've seen broke men with options and rich men with none. The difference, internal state. The broke man improving, building, growing. He radiates potential. The rich man stagnating, desperate, needy. He radiates desperation. Women aren't attracted to what you have. They're attracted to who you are. The moment you stop chasing her, something shifts in the universe. The constant texts stop. The desperate calls end. The pathetic social media monitoring ceases. And suddenly, for the first time since the breakup, she feels something she didn't expect. Your absence. Today, I'm revealing exactly what happens in her mind when you go silent. Why no contact is your only path to dignity. And the 2 golden rules that will either save you or destroy you completely. But first, let me tell you what you're probably doing wrong right now. You're checking her Instagram story. You're analyzing her posts for hidden meanings. You're torturing yourself with her online status, wondering who she's talking to at 2 a.m. Every check is a needle in your vein, giving you a microsecond of relief, followed by hours of agony. You're a junkie